All right, today is May 5th, 2025. Let's jump straight into the review. As far as the overnight goes, starting off on the 5 minute time frame, there really wasn't anything here on this leg that would have allowed you to take the shorts and be part of this move. So we won't really cover that because there just isn't anything. Now, as far as today goes, after Asia started, we did create this breaker, which then gave us a sweepable here. And if we jump into the 1 minute time frame for today after that sweepable, we had a sweep here. That sweep created CISD on this low. So that's bullet one, gets swept. And then we're waiting for bullet two. Now here on this leg, there is no breaker. So bullet two is still in play when this gets swept. And then here on this sweep, it's still bullet two because there is also no breaker here till we sweep one last time. Now, once we sweep that one last time, we grab from this top to right here. That would be the earliest breaker. There's no breaker here. This is our high, low, higher, high, lower, low. That gives us the projections from Asia to pretty much the bottom of the day, which was here. That's where we 180 from today. Now, following this on the 5 minute time frame, this is also a CISD, giving us a 5 minute sweepable here. We sweep that 5 minute sweepable. We then create the breaker here from this top to here. So low, high, low, higher, high, lower, low. And is our breaker, but it fails. So that's bullet one that failed. Now this is bullet two here. And if we grab from this top to this bottom, that's bullet two. Low, higher, high, lower, low, giving us our breaker block here being this red candle. So then that delivers, of course, to 4 plus. And once we have that, this is a new changing set of delivery as well on the 5 minute, I believe, on this low. And so we're following that leg down. This is the very first sweepable on the 5 minute. Let's just zoom in on that real quick. After the CISD, which is here, you have a low, a high, a low, giving us the first sweepable. Let's zoom back in into that sweepable area. So sweeps, and there is no breaker here. So there's no bullet. Sweeps again, and then there is a breaker here when it closes below 536. So that's bullet one. And then we have bullet two play out. So bullet one misses, bullet two plays out, bullet one misses, bullet two plays out. And then now this is bullet one, misses, bullet two is in play. Now, I got on the charts today, right around here. I saw this in play. I faded it. I said that it was going to go to -4 here from this bullet. And then once that happened, I wasn't quite sure whether we would drop any further. So it most likely would start turning around from there. So I wasn't willing to take this because I just wasn't sure that it really would play out for long enough. Oh, sorry. I'm talking about the wrong breaker. This one. I faded this. So I came on the chart when we were like around here. So I could have taken a retest of this, but it would have only given max 2 standard deviations. And that's even if it even got there, because 4 standard deviations is here. So really, once we were below this line, it doesn't have to keep going any further because it already finished the objective, which was the OG. This breaker is coming, this breaker is coming out of this, and this is coming out of this, and this is coming out of this, of course. But whenever this delivers, like, that's it. It doesn't have to do anything further. So because of that, I wasn't quite sure whether this was really worth taking or not, so I just didn't take it. There is a sweepable here. We sweep it, and then we create a breaker, but this is bullet one. So you see the theme: bullet one fails, bullet two goes, bullet one fails, bullet two goes, bullet one fails, bullet two goes. And so here it could have failed one more time and then it went. Now, because of how tight this is, it was unlikely to happen. But yeah, I just didn't want to be involved in that. So I missed this. There was nothing I could have done here really besides just taking the risk. And yeah, my TP would have had to be 2 standard deviations. So I would have only gotten like 2.5, 2.6 R, give or take. Then after that, we turned around, start going up, and there's nothing here on the 5 minute time frame for me to get involved on, unfortunately. I talked about on stream how I would like for us to start going up from here because this is a 1 hour sweepable. here on these lows. And so it made a lot of sense to me that we would start going up. But I would want to see this 15-minute breaker here in this area. Let me switch to the 15-minute. The 15-minute area, make the changes to the delivery here. And we went up, but unfortunately it failed to do so at 9 o'clock. So there was no way for me to really know for a fact it was going to go higher. But not at least not early enough for me to get a lower time frame entry, because there's just no structure in this section. The CISD on the 5-minute happens here, but then the sweepable is here. So this needs to get swept for me to get involved. So there's nothing there. CISD happens here on the 5-minute, but then it puts in the high here. So after the CISD from this left side, it puts in the high, it puts in the low, making this next sweepable. So again, literally nothing for me to do. Then the next CISD on the 5-minute is here. So it closes here, puts in the high, puts in the low. So again, nothing for me to do. So now we have this is a sweepable, this is a sweepable, that is a sweepable. And yeah, there's just quite literally nothing, unfortunately, on the leg. So quite unfortunate that there was really nothing there. Then after that, we get a close here, high, low, high, giving us our sweepable. And then it goes from there on the 1-minute time frame. Zoom in on that. So the 1-minute time frame goes from this low, the breaker would be this high, giving us 2 standard deviations, such as that, and then the 180 is from there. So on this trade, I definitely would have taken my profit at 2 standard deviations, personally, just because of how long it took to get there at this point. It's already taken 3 hours. So I definitely would have just TP at that point. But yeah, this is just an unfortunate day. There was just no sweepables to really work with besides this. And I wanted to short, so I'll break down the short side, because I wanted to short in order to go higher. And this is the first sweepable on the 15-minute from this leg down. And well, the first sweepable from here, from this close. First sweepable is actually up here, but this is the second sweepable from the leg down. So yeah, we close below here, low, high, lower, low, giving us our sweepable. We sweep it the first time here. Zoom in real big. Sweep it the first time here, no breaker. Sweep it again, and then we finally create our first breaker, which is here. That breaker then gets swept again. So now this is bullet number 2 if it creates a breaker here. And it does. It closes here. So this was my short. I enter right here. I enter here on this candle at 12. No, that's not true. I entered here. Sorry. I enter here, and I was going to target 2 standard deviations at least, or 4. And then I was taking out because this is bullet 2. Then bullet 1 for the buy side. Sorry, this is bullet 2 for the short side. So after I was taken out of that, it would make it clear that we actually are going to go up for the rest of the day. And I wanted to look for a buy, but I didn't want to take this buy from here because it was quite thick relative to what I wanted to see. I wanted to see something a little bit thinner, just so I can get a better risk reward, because I wasn't sure that this was going to deliver 4 standard deviations. And so, yeah, I just didn't take that. It did come back and retap it right here, and then it takes off. But yeah, it was only 2R, and I had my order like around here. I was getting like a 50% discount on that trade. And then we get to the top of the day. There's nothing here, honestly. That's not true. There's a trade here. So CISZ here, high, low, high, giving us this as our 5-minute sweepable. And so we drag that across, go to the 1-minute. There is a breaker here from this low to this high, but it's just shy of 2 standard deviations. So once this gets to 2, chart just kind of stops as when that distracts, and it just starts going down. Now we aggressively go down. I took a L here because I left my order from this breaker open. So I took an L here. This is bullet number 1. So it could have went lower, and then you could still have another bullet. But I just, left it there because it could have went from there. But yeah, I took that L. And then after that, the chart just, wrapped up the day. It was honestly it was pretty, if you didn't catch the very early, like Asia and London, it was kind of just meh for New York. Like there wasn't really a whole lot going on. Now that we did sweep under this, plus we're still in bullet 2 of the 5-minute, I'm sorry. This projection can actually play out. So I will be interested when the market opens to see price come down here and then take off again. If it's going to do so, it's going to do so straight from the open. So literally, we're going to see this candle open up, and either this candle will open up and gap up here. And if it doesn't do that, then it's going to open, immediately go down, get into this area. And as soon as it gets there, it will then take off again and go up higher. So I mean, I'm interested to see what happens there from the open. At least that's what I assume it's going to happen, just because this is still in play and it's still valid. We could just be obviously fully turning around and going down again, but there wasn't anything here that would make me really think that, because the short side already had lost multiple times on its way up. So yeah, I don't really have a strong reason to think that we were really going to be dropping long term. But yeah, that's the review for today. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe. Bye.